Hi, Miss James.
Hello there.
How are you?
I am doing fine. And
Good.
you?
Really good. Thanks.
Okay, trying to get my view to see who I'm even speaking to.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Mr. Risa. This is Karen.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I can't wait for my gift.
Oh, yes. He's in Portland right now, but I sent him the list and sent him the addresses.
Okay. All
So
right.
he
Thank
can
you.
get them all. Yes, you're more than welcome.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon.
This is Kara. I received my beautiful gold bracelet.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with here?
This is Carl Goldston.
Hi, Carl. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How you doing today?
Okay, fine. Are you ready to learn more about your health, your body, your DNA, and how it works?
Well, you can't go wrong learning about it.
Now, and keep in mind, it's never too late. Never
Yes.
too late.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, never too late. So that's what we're going to be focused on this afternoon. And there'll be new information even for myself. This is new information for me.
It's so quiet.
Too quiet. A few more minutes and then you'll start hearing.
Okay.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Maybe we should start having some background music when we start up.
That'd be a nice idea.
That would be nice. Okay, I'll put that on the list to get you going, huh?
Yeah, of course.
So what sort of music would you like to hear?
A variety. Sometimes it can be typical, some American music, Caribbean music, just, a little variety adds spice to life.
Oh, right. I'll keep that in mind. Did you hear that, Isaiah?
Yeah, I heard it.
Yep. So we gotta pump it out some more. Yeah, shout out to Isaiah.
I gotta say it. I have to say it, Teresa. Shout out to Isaiah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Miss Jackson, Denise.
Hi, Denise.
I wanted to tell you, a lady was telling me about the Miss Senior DC pageant. Department of Aging.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta write that down.
They have it every year.
Really? And it's called Miss DC Pageant.
Miss Senior.
Miss Senior. Whoa.
DC pageant.
It's more than 25 years old.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Let me do my research on it.
You have to be 60 and older.
60 or older. And well, excuse me. Well, we certainly have some seniors that could participate.
Uh-huh. Because I think she told me you got to fill the application out.
So let me find out more about it then.
The 28th.
When is it? When is the pageant?
It's in May the 1st.
Oh, so we've got time to prepare for it.
Yeah, she said, but you gotta do the application by the 28th of February.
When it's, well, we've got time.
And I
Let me,
think she said come under Model City. She said the lady name, but it's in the Department of the Aging.
says Dackle that's doing it. Okay, let me talk to Dackle and find out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I said I was gonna put it out there if anybody
Thanks for,
was interested.
yeah, thanks for sharing.
Sure.
It would be nice if we can get one of ours on it.
Uh-huh.
And then we could cheer them on.
I know, right?
Yes. Okay, so we've got over 20 now, so I'm going to begin. The first thing I'm going to basically do is read the disclaimer to you. So this afternoon, we're going to look at, we're going to talk about what is known as epigenetics. This is a fascinating lecture about diabetes and your genes. You will learn some of the latest developments in the field of science and how it applies to you and your disease. But the first thing I want to do is to read the disclaimer. And this program is for educational purposes only. It does not take the place of your doctor's advice. You are responsible for going to your doctor, for letting him or her work with you to manage your medication based on your particular set of symptoms. Before you adopt any of the principles presented here, please talk to your doctor. Tell him or her that you are working to manage your lifestyle, to increase your exercise, to make your diet changes, to reverse your diabetes, and get his or her appropriate changes in your activity level or diet that may impact the medication you're taking. Keep your doctor informed of what you're doing. Okay? So that's the first thing we're going to get to. And then the next thing, let's find out some more about what our journey is like today. And if I can get my mouse to work, I think, okay, stop working. Okay, so let's find out the meaning of this word, epigenetics. If it would ever move. Well, the first thing basically before we even do that, we're going to use Karen as a model for this lab. When Karen got her labs from her doctor's visit, she knew that something had to change. Her triglycerides were almost 600 trigly. As you could see, 587. She attributed this to a genetic predisposition because her mother shared a similar problem. And she knew that it was not going to be long until she became a diabetic like her mother, unless she made some significant changes in her lifestyle. Although she was a nurse, she did not know what kind of changes needed to be made. As you could see, her cholesterol and her weight. So she knows she had to make changes. In other words, she was on her way to becoming a diabetic. For about 5 years, she helped put together a video seminar about on reversing diabetes from Lifestyle Centers of America that changed her lifestyle. As she learned of the things that she could do to improve her health and apply them, she began to see improvements. Change was gradual. Later, she became involved in coordinating a similar program in an effort to help her neighbors. And this is a county in Grundy County in Tennessee, where she resides. She and her husband had co-authored this, what is known as a community-based education program that teaches practical lifestyle changes for which science has shown to be helpful in preventing and reversing diabetes. Okay. Let's go to our next slide. All right, so this is her before, this is after she's, you could see it changes. So Karen numbers have improved after she, dramatically. Here she is now. As you can see, she's now at 157 pounds. Her cholesterol dropped from 263 to 180. Her resistance, when it comes to her insulin resistance, that is, went from 15 to 4.6. And her weight went from 200 to 160. And if she can do it, if any of you are out there that's struggling with diabetes or weight gain that may cause you to become a diabetic, you can address the issue. It's not too late to do so. All right, so now we're going to look at who is this Gregor John Mandel. As you can see, let's find out who he is and what was his message to us. Even though he's been gone, look at the time he left in 1884. In his studies, the science of genetics got it started. He was really who began the study of genetics. As he worked in his monastery garden raising peas, crossing and breeding them, he kept careful records. He began to notice certain patterns and characteristics that emerged when plants were crossbred. Certain inheritable traits could be passed to succeeding generation in predictable patterns. Eventually, he concluded that this was due to half of certain genes being passed to the offspring from each parent. His observations were the beginning of the science that we now know as—
You got something blocking the screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can move this out the way. Hold on.
Thank you.
Thank you for that warning. Yes, I will try to avoid that in the future. All right. So, as you can see, in genetics, we inherit our traits from our parents. Half from genes from our mother, the other half from our father. If you, for some reason, you inherit diabetes from your parents, you're probably saying to yourself, how can I prevent or reverse something that was passed down to me genetically? I don't know if there are any of you out there, but I do know of an instance, someone that I knew personally did inherit diabetes from his mother. So it does happen, and it can be reversed depending on, and we're going to find out. This is what our journey is here. And all right, so to that very good question, first, let's identify. Let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do now is look at the common myths of how you inherit these genes. So you were dealt a hand of genes at your birth. You are who you are, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Is that true?
You're blocking the screen again.
Okay.
True.
Let me see if I can get this. It keeps popping up. Anyway, so do we have to accept, this is a myth as of this point. Do we need to accept the fact, well, our parents, whatever, and so we are being dealt that disease or whatever it is? Well, chances are, yes, it's possible that we will, but we can avoid it.
Mhm.
All right, so genetics and disease. This thing is really annoying. Let me see if there's any way. Yeah, it keeps coming up. All diseases have a genetic component. For example, if you see the pictures here of the identical twins, they have exact same genetic component. For example, cancer versus cancer-free, lean versus obese, diabetic versus diabetic-free. So how do we account for these differences when the individuals share identical sets of genes? Okay, I think I went backwards. Let me see if I can. I don't think my mouse is working properly at all today. 1 minute is popping up, next minute it is not. I think I might have to. I don't want it to block the screen, so I'm being gingerly. Sometimes it just works so beautifully on its own, and today it's not doing that.
Is this Keynote?
No, this is just PowerPoint, but I don't think
okay.
it has anything. I think it could be my mouse because it's always worked well. So I don't know what's going on with it today. See, every once in a while it pops up. All right, let's see. Let me try another way of getting this thing moving. Maybe I can do it manually from the keyboard. Ooh, it's going to give me trouble today.
Now the page is, my
Yeah.
page is huge. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Well, all right. Sometimes dirt get into the. Okay, let's see if it. See? All right, wait, give me 1 second. Let me see if I'm going to end the show for a little while and see if I can. See, it pops up and then next minute it's not doing that. It's not even popping up now. It's changed its mind. All right, so. And there are times when, okay, what is it doing now? Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to hit the escape and get out of this mode. Something is not working right. I'm going to stop sharing for a little bit.
Okay. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Miss Green. How are you?
Okay.
Nice and windy today, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
Whoa, I think my mouse is going to give me problems today. Okay, let's see what I can do to change this. I'm going to have to end the go to PowerPoint and yeah, I'm going to have to do it the hard way today just to get this thing going. So let me go on.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do it the hard way. Just give me a second.
It's a good topic.
Yeah. No, I need to share the screen again because you're not seeing my screen, are you?
Yeah.
You are seeing my screen?
We see you.
We see you.
Yeah, but not my screen.
No.
That's
Uh-uh.
what I thought. I didn't think you were. All right, so let's change that story. Let's go back here. Whoa, I think it's getting worse. All right, we'll fix this real fast. What in the world is this?
The battery might be low. If
Yes.
the battery might work.
Yeah, because I can't even, let me just end this thing. I'm going to close this one out. Yeah, it's got to be the battery. Maybe it's just gone there right now and it's saying it's not doing anything else. So let me create.
Does that mean not enough power if it's not?
Yeah, it's not getting enough power.
Enough power.
So yeah, so give me 1 second. Let me close out everything. I'm not going to shut down Zoom though. I'm just closing out my PowerPoint. And then I'm going to do it the manual way. I will then do the manual way.
You don't have a battery?
Who, me? I probably do, but it's going to take time for me going digging in the drawer. I'll do the manual way. Sometimes you have to learn how to improvise, and this is what I'm going to do now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start to share my screen in a little while again. I'm not going to do the slideshow. I'm just going to be working on it manually. So. I even now have to find the Zoom part of this now.
I talked to the Attorney General and that's attorney too. We can definitely take legal action to get you to the president's body. I'm good, let's keep going. They also said off the record.
I can't even find my Zoom stuff. Isaiah, are you there? Let's see.
I know we're going, but we have to play this one smart. Prescott's hiding something from us. We're gonna find out what. What do you think you're doing? Being pushed away from investigating Lieutenant Prescott's death. So we're
okay, Isaiah, can you hear me?
appeared at that time.
Yeah.
Yes,
yes, there's something going. So you're saying Zoom is not working?
Facilitating court relations. A couple of months ago, he was negotiating a lease and his deal.
Hold on, can you mute whoever's got a TV going in the back there? Because I can't. See if you can mute whoever it is that has a TV going. In fact, I can't find any of my my Zoom icons. It's not even showing up. I hate to shut. So you have the host right now, right? Yes. So you can carry it until I come back in. I'm going to go back out. Okay. So just keep it going until I'm going to shut off Zoom on my end, and then come back in. Okay. Because yeah, but just keep them. So I'm going to leave the meeting, not end the meeting. Okay. You now have control Okay. All right. So I'm back in. I'm back in. All right. I do have to give you co-host permission again. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me do that. You are tech. Where are you on this list? I see you. Co-host, make co-host. Got it. That's back up and running. All right. So I'm going to minimize on my end and then get back into, I've got to get my PowerPoint back up. Okay, then not only do I, wait a minute. Something is going on. I'm not seeing any of my icons. The same thing again. Yeah, I've just, it's like, let's see. Hold on. It is not, I'm not able to, I don't know what's going on. Close all windows, pin to the taskbar. I don't want to quit it and come back out again. It's just not showing up. And you've already hit escape, right? Yeah, okay, let me try that. And that's not, yeah, I can't see any, I don't even know if I'm in Zoom, that's to tell you. There's nothing, no evidence. I'm gonna leave the meeting again. The other tabs that you have. Okay, so we're going to go with the manual one. Okay. Let me go back to, all right, back here. Let me go back now to, I can reclaim the host. And not only do I need to reclaim the host, but I need to get my notes together. I think I'm back now. All right, so I'm back. I was there talking about, all right, can you all hear me?
Yes, we do. Yay.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize. I don't know what happened that. So I'm going to do it manually. I'm not doing a slideshow. So we got to the point about where we were talking about the identical twins. And now let's talk about what does this term epigenetic means. And we'll break it out into several parts here. We have the epi, which it means on top of or in addition to. Okay, in addition to, we can think of the terms of. Then we have genetics that are factors that affect the way the genes work. And then we have epigenetics that refers to the factors that affect the way genes work independent of the genes themselves. Okay, independent. And I know it may not come clear at this point, but as we go through these slides, it will be. I promise you that it will be. So I'm going to be doing this manually, like I said. So this is what. So from the New York Times, from the actual Times magazine, January 6, 2010, why your DNA isn't your destiny. So it's saying, even though you were given this, it doesn't mean that it's your destiny. You have control over it. So let's find out how that happens. So what is known as genomics research by this Dr. Girdle from Duke University. As you can see from the image here, agouti mice, the yellow one, okay, instead of the brown, rapidly gain weight. It developed diabetes and heart disease and died prematurely of cancer. So changing the agouti gene, they were fed, the mice were now fed a special nutritional supplement. And the offsprings, let's find out about the offsprings. Now, they're doing research now. And the offsprings were actually the child of these agouti mice, which typically did gain those genes from the parent. However, when they were fed a special diet, these are the offsprings, they were slender, meaning they were less in weight. The color, look at the color, is no longer bright yellow, it's now brown. No cancer, no diabetes, and they lived a long life. Isn't that funny?
Awesome.
Special diet, same genes, but the special diet changed it all.
Oh, and he got smaller.
Yes, and
Yes,
changed the
awesome.
color. Yeah. This is what happens in those labs. Yeah, they got smaller. Okay, so the DNA of the parent and the offsprings were identical to begin with, right? Only thing that changed was the what? The mother's diet. It was toxic, the diet that caused the agouti genes to be expressed in the first place. And much of what we do is all done in these labs, research, diets, all these things are done using, as you could see, mice. So what lessons was learned from that? Same genes, different expressions. Diet changed ways the genes worked, deactivated the agouti gene. The gene expression changes in other species. You play an active role, how genes are expressed and impact in your offsprings, okay? We have that control. And now we're gonna look at human. We looked at the mice a little while ago and how it was changed through a special diet. Let's look at humans now, where they found two. So Pima Indians, right? These are Indians, Pima Indians, as you can see pictures of them. They reside in the USA, in Arizona, state of Arizona. Okay. Isaiah, there's a few people in the waiting room. I don't want to escape and come out and then get into trouble again. So I'm not going to go there. So when we look at the Pima Indians as an example of what happened in human genes, so the Pima Indians are Native Americans who live in Arizona around the Salt and Gila rivers, just south of Phoenix. They were a lean group of people who for thousands of years earned their living as farmers. When the white men began to move into Arizona and plant gardens upstream from Pima, they diverted the water, okay? They were farmers, remember. They no longer had access to the water that they used to have for farming. So the white man came in, diverted the water from the Gila and the Salt River to irrigate their crops. The Pima didn't have any access to that water anymore. Water that the Pima had used for thousands of years. As a result, there was an inadequate supply of water for the Pima crops. So a famine set in. Many of their people became ill and died because of the famine. The US government stepped in with a solution, giving the Pima commodities of white flour, sugar, and lard. Without water for irrigation, they were now forced to survive on the supplies that were given to them. All right. About that time, let's see if I can admit a few people in. About that time, the obesity needle of the Pima people began to move. Then during World War II, a lot of the Pima men were drafted into the army. They were assigned primary Caucasian units and began to eat the standard American diet. Soon, they acquired a taste for it. When the war was over, they took their appetite home with them. Let's move to the next slide. Yep. And guess what happened? As the families began to change their lifestyle and ate standard American diet, the rate of obesity and then diabetes, what? Skyrocketed. They are now, they have the fastest growing, they're the fastest group of people with diabetes in the USA, fastest growth. Bear with me 1 second. Isaiah is asking for some help. He's saying he doesn't have, let me see if I could find him on, he doesn't have the privilege of admitting people anymore. I think I found it. Let me give him that again. Okay. So now keep in mind now there's another group of the Pima people, identical genomes, who live in the Sierra Madre mountains of Mexico. However, the story is not the same for them as it is for the Arizona Pima. They have continued to farm the way they have done for thousands of years, and they remain lean, slender people, and they have almost no diabetes. Okay, so with that said, let me see it. Yep. So these are the Pima Indians in the mountains of Mexico. In the image here, I'm going to show you now. As you can see, let me get that up. There you go. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we learned from this is that research, let me bring that up next. Lesson learned that they're same people, same DNA. However, when they switched diets, the American ones started eating the standard American diet, their diabetes rocketed in numbers, and they still remain the highest group with diabetes today. And those that live in Mexico itself, who remained on their original diet, now have the lowest or almost none within their family. So research tells us that what it is that as they caused the Pima Indians in Arizona to develop such a high rate of diabetes, whilst the Pima Indians who lived in the Sierra Mountains have almost none. Okay, so that's what it says, environment. So now we're going to find out about this. We're going to go a little deeper now. So as you can see in this new slide that I have up now, we're alone looking at prostate cancer studies. So this doctor, Dr. Ornish, did a study. He was a young cardiologist who became very well, am I blocking your screen? Who became very well known when he published a landmark study back in 1990, reporting that he had actually reversed cardiovascular disease by putting people on a regimen that included a very low fat, low protein, plant-based whole food diet, exercise, and meditation. In 2008, he published another study related to the epigenetics and cancer. He took 30 men who declined traditional treatment of prostate cancer and enrolled them in a 90-day lifestyle study. He wanted to see what would happen to gene expressions if he gave these men the same type of regimen that he had put people on in his heart study 15 years previously. So let's see what happened here. Okay, so his goal was to see if lifestyle changes could actually change genes expression. The result of the study was that all the men lost weight, all lowered their blood pressure, all lowered their cholesterol, their tumor shrank, they felt better, and they all had major epigenetic changes. As you can see, don't they all look nice and healthy there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So as you recall, around 1990, under the directions of President Reagan, the United States joined an international effort to unravel the human genome. And it was a project that they thought might take 60 years. Instead, they finished it in just 13 years. Since the genome has been mapped, scientists have been identifying genes which cause diseases. By the time Dr. Orish did his prostate cancer study, scientists had identified 453 genes that were known to promote disease. And they had identified another 48 genes that were known to prevent the disease. Amazing. See what research can do? So there we go. Of those group, this is what happened. This is the pre-study versus the post-study. The pre is in black and the post is in red. So we have disease promoting, active, right? 453. Notice, preventing, same case. Let's find out more about that. So let's look at this prostate cancer study and how is it that Dr. Orish did his baseline testing on the 30 men in this study to evaluate these genes. The 453 that we just saw, genes, which at that time were known to promote diseases, were all found to be active, right? They were active. The 48 genes which were known to prevent disease in all 30 of the men were inactive. Lifestyle changes. That's what's happened here. Turned off bad genes, turned on good genes. Hope for all battling genetics, predispositions. Implications may reach all other areas of life. Lifestyle changes rapidly affect genetic expression. What is the best approach? Optimize the epigenetics potential. So our lifestyles says a whole lot. So now let's look at this term that we all became familiar with, including myself, epigenetic research. In 2008, the National Institute of Health actually allocated 190 million. Yes, 190 million.
In the research.
Yes, into the research. And then in March 7, 2014, Charlotte Lund University, they did an epigenetic changes in 800 genes. And that can be influenced in different ways through diet, exercise, and lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at this, the basis of this epigenetics, the changes that occur, and what we now have control of even though we may have inherited our parents' DNA. Okay? Modify this epigenetic changes. What epigenetics does, it modifies the gene's expression. It do not change the DNA sequence. It occur within one organism lifetime, and they're preserved when a cell divides and occasionally passed on to offsprings. So they're saying it's passed on to offspring. I'm not going to, let's go on to the next one. So not going to go through this with you because I don't want to confuse you anymore. But I just want to touch on you to tell you that these epigenetic changes, how they really come about is true. We inherited from childhood, basically from birth. The environmental chemicals make an impact, right? Environmental is pretty serious these days. On the products that we buy in the supermarket, fresh fruits and vegetables coming with all these different pesticides, different things that we eat, the drugs and that we take, aging, and of course, diet. All of that has to do with the epigenetic mechanisms that cause these things to happen. Now, one way to think of it is like, I don't know if you're aware, one of the things I learned is that we all have what are known as cancer cells within our body, every one of us.
Yeah.
But not all of us end up getting cancer, right? Some of us do and some don't.
Right.
And what is it that determines whether or not you're going to get cancer and I'm not? Something has to happen to trigger those cancer cells to become active. So you can think of that in the same way with the epigenetic mechanism. Something that changes our DNA path to cause various things to happen. And diabetes takes control of our body. And, you know.
It's what you're eating.
Yes. It's eating, environmental, stress, lack of exercise, lack of drinking water. Like I should have my glass of water here with me now, and I don't have it. But those are all the factors that happens that cause these things to happen to us. So let's go. So with this, as you can see, DNA damage is common. As many as what? 10,000 times per cell in the course of a day. 10,000 times per cell in the course of a day. The body is constantly building and rebuilding genomes. Damage to the DNA is taken care of by repair genes. So that means if it's doing this every day, it's never too late.
Right.
To change our diet and have them start the being repaired.
Right. Exercise.
Yeah. However, incomplete or inadequate repair to our DNA results in what? Mutations. So if we don't work on it, then they can become to mutate. Just like with COVID-19, how many different types of viruses since COVID-19 came in?
Yeah.
4.
3 or 4.
What do you think happened? Those same mutated. And same things happening in your body. Right, it's mutated. These mutations cause the genome to be unstable. Yeah, it's cause it actually instability. Once you develop genome instability, your risk of cancer and other diseases related to genetic mutations goes away. By providing optimal environment for cells to grow and repair, we can minimize these negative outcomes through a stabilized genome. Then things like cancer, hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease will be minimized because the genome is stable and the cells are operating well. Okay. One of the things I just want to touch on, if you remember months ago when we last did a diabetes, we did it on what is called oxidative stress. I don't know if you remember that. Much of this DNA damage is caused because of oxidative stress. Just wanted to bring that. And what is it's a diet rich in, so how can we talked about how can we avoid oxidative stress? We had to then acquire a diet rich in antioxidants to increase the level of our DNA to repair the enzymes within us. Consequently, consuming these foods help to stabilize our genomes because it also decreases the oxidative stress that which it reduces the DNA damage in the first place. So we got to change our diet. Okay.
Yes, you do.
Gotta do it. It's never too late. Never too late.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now let's look at this next slide called historical perspective, where the prevalences of diabetes. When they identified it back in the 1900, it was what? 2 in every 1,000. Just 2 in every 1,000.
2, yeah.
Yeah. By the time we got to 2013, it's 120 in every 1,000 of us. And what is the projected one now for 2030? We're 8 years away from that. It doubled. It doubled.
Yeah. 240. I don't know. Wow.
Okay. So we've got work to do.
Yes, we do.
We've got work to do. So Dr. Francis Collins, who's the current director of the National Institute of Health, he loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger.
Wow.
Okay, so we're let them know what is one of the main things, and you got to do it. Remember, we started on that SMART goals back in was that right before Thanksgiving, early November. I don't know how many of you committed to exercise, but it's never too late to start. If you started and stopped, keep going.
Yeah.
I know it's winter and you can't get out to do walking, but do whatever you can in the house, whatever you can. And if you happen to have a daughter or son or whoever, and they ask you, what gift do you want? Tell them you'd like to have a treadmill. Oh yeah. Tell them that's the best gift they can give you. Get on that treadmill every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually bought my treadmill for $125 from a yard sale.
Wow.
Yeah, and it works it in. I get on it at least minimum three times a week.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. When I don't feel like going out, I get on the treadmill first thing in the morning, or even sometimes when I'm finished working, I get on it at night.
How long you stay on it?
Well, it all depends. Now, my treadmill, which shows you for every loop that you do is 1/4 mile. If I do 2 loops, it's 1/2 mile. If I do 4 loops, then I would have done 2 miles. So some days, if I'm really exhausted, even if I don't want to, I'll at least do 1/4 mile. At least I've done 1/4 mile. And then days when I have the energy, I'll do 1/2 mile. And then if I'm really have more energy, I'll do a mile. Yeah. Right. So got to do it. So ask them for a treadmill. Anybody asks you, what do you want? Tell them that.
But what if you don't want it?
Yeah.
If it's sitting there in your bedroom, you better get on it.
You can do the cubit for your exercise. It's really nice.
It really is. So right. Who's that? Georgia? Is that you?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, you just listen.
Yeah, because I do my exercise.
Oh, you do your exercise.
Practically every day.
Every day. Good.
That's good.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So so this reversal strategy. So let's look at, so how can you get on this reversal strategy here? Okay. And based on science, let's look at some of the slides here on this change in the epigenetic expression. We have food, daily food plan, and right. Let's look at some of those foods that can do it. Let's look at it. Look at that.
Vegetable. Yeah. Vegetables.
Fruit. And fruit.
So we're looking at high fiber foods. Looking at slow sugar absorption, feed slowly over time, cleaner metabolic burns, high antioxidant intake, eat fiber first, eat slowly, avoid overeating or snacking. And look at the bottom one. 8 to 10 glasses of water a day.
But water fill you up. You
Yeah,
can't drink water. It fills you up. Like yesterday, I had 2 glasses of water. And I was full for the rest of the evening. I should have drank a glass before I started eating, but not a glass.
There you go. Yeah, it does. Now look at the stuff we can't have now. Let's look at all this good stuff. I call it good because that's what we call it good, right?
Yeah, we be eating some of it.
Wow.
Processed meat.
Yeah.
Refined grain. Sweet.
Donuts.
Soda.
So we have to avoid, we have to avoid all this processed meat. Stay away from
Carry out. Fast food.
Fast foods, processed meat like what? Bologna.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ham.
Yeah.
Hot dogs.
Yes, hot dogs. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a glass of soda.
Really?
That was part of my smart diet. That was part of my commitment last year with you all, that I was not going to be drinking that anymore.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That is good. You got strong. You got strong stamina, girl.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I did eat fries. I've had fries like 3 times since. And I've had maybe 2 slices of pizza since then. It used to be regular. And guess what? I haven't had any of coffee.
Oh,
wow.
You are good. I have it every day.
I have it every day too.
I have my
food. And sometimes twice a day.
Right.
Oh, that's right, because of the caffeine that's inflammatory.
So you don't have to drop it all in one shot and go into shock. You can do it gradual. That's what I'm saying. One thing at a time.
Okay.
One thing at a time. Again, 20 minutes of moderate exercise after meals.
Yes.
Okay. And if you can get the real active one, do it 3 to 6 times a week if you can. I'm not saying I don't do it 3. I do it minimum 3 times a week. Some days I'll do 4. Some weeks I'll do 4. Others I'll do 3. But I at least get my 3 in. The other intervention is fasting. There's a certain time at night you will not find me eating carbs. Will not. I'm hungry, but I'm going to eat fruits. That was part of my SMART goal that I put down. No more eating carbs at night. What do I mean by that? It's at 7 o'clock. It's over with. Fruits only.
How about ice cream? How about ice cream at night?
Nope, no ice cream. No ice cream. That used to be, but that used to be my favorite thing. Was ice cream at night. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the difference between exercising for 20 minutes immediately after eating and just exercising when you get up in the morning?
Okay, so right after eating, you start to burn it, the sugar, the carbs up before it develops into fat.
Oh, okay.
Whereas once it's developed into fat, you've got to now try to burn it off first thing in the morning.
So it may be 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes, huh?
Right, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So we have here now, how does diabetes process? Look at how the process, how it actually happens. Let's find out here. So another function of insulin is that it drives hunger. As insulin level goes up, so does our urge to eat. When we get hungry, what are we going to do? You're going to eat.
To the kitchen.
Right. So the high insulin level gives us increased hunger, which leads to overeating.
Yeah.
That in turn drives up blood sugar, causing the cycle to what? Worsen. So now you can see. So, you know, sometimes when I'm hungry, or I think I'm hungry, if I drink a glass of water, guess what happens?
Curbs your appetite.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I'm no longer hungry.
Yeah.
I am no longer hungry.
Water
So as
can help you out.
right. So as our cells become chronically overfed, the cells respond to all the extra energy by turning some of it into fat, which used to gum the locks of the doors to the cell. That's what it does. The fat will do that. This means that there are less doors through which the sugar can pass. So blood sugar rises, further driving up insulin levels and hunger, while causing worsening insulin resistance and increased lethargy and inactivity. So as you can see, those in red.
Yeah.
And then what happens at the other end? Look at the other end to the right. Gain weight.
You gain weight.
And then from that, insulin resistance kicks in again.
Overeating.
Yep.
And hungry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at this other slide here now. The increased level of fat cause the cell fats to give inflammatory substances, which result in inflammation through the body. Furthermore, the refined diet, which is high in sugar and fat, does not contain nutrition necessary to metabolize them properly, resulting in incomplete metabolism. So you can't burn it up anymore. Okay. So how does the diabetes progress? Here's another one here. Eventually, the high blood sugar, along with an increased demand for high insulin level, leads to the pancreatic fatigue. So that's how the diabetes begins. Pancreas.
Jesus.
Yep, fatigue kicks in. After that kicks in, let's see what happens. Again. All right. As the pancreas begins to wear out and sugar shut down from overwork, insulin levels drop, which leads to further elevation of what? Blood sugar.
Blood sugar. Yeah, blood sugar. Wow.
Jesus.
Yep, that's the progress.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in this slide, as you can see, as it has been estimated, they're saying about 99% of overweight people also suffer from what is called leptin resistance. See the leptin down to the far right? Let's find out what that is.
Yeah.
Leptin resistance. So that also develops as the diabetes progresses.
Your metabolism slow down.
When this happens, your brain thinks you are starving, even though there is an abundance of fat. So it sends signals to your body to slow down your metabolism, leading to additional weight gain.
Yeah.
It also further drives hunger, causing you to overeat, making the blood sugar problem even worse. So what can we do now? Let's find out to worsen it. All right. So we want to, the goal is to reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse all that stuff that we started here. So, so now let's look and see what happens when we apply the reversal strategy we've learned so far. What is the one factor that is driving the disease process?
Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep.
The SAD.
Exercise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are the ones that are driving it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stress.
Okay. When we replace the SAD with a high nutrient, high fiber diet and start eating every color of the rainbow every day, that's how we can start doing this reversal thing. Look at the mapping of it. High nutrient, high fiber. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, everything now is, yep. Your metabolism. Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay, we now have here, this is what, 51. Your blood sugar begins to normalize. The high level on antioxidant neutralizes the oxidative stress. Inflammation just goes away. When what happens? Your cortisol levels drop and blood sugar drop even further. So it is reversal. It's up to us. It is reversal. Yes, we can make it happen.
Yeah, every individual can do different ways that it will apply to them.
Right.
Yes, I did it years ago. I changed my eating habit. I used to be a diabetic, and I got tired of the big clothes. I got tired of taking the metformin, and I looked at the size of the plate, and I changed my plate, and I took back the rice and potatoes and everything. And I went back to my doctor. My doctor did a test, and she asked me, what did I do? And I told her I did it. I did it by force. I got mad. I got tired of the big clothes, and I changed my eating habits. And I wasn't a diabetic anymore. I got tired of eating, scared I'm gonna go into a coma or something, and this and that, and other people checking on me. It was like 5 people following me, and I had to continue in all of this mess, and I got tired, and I changed it. And I'm not a diabetic. And my doctor, she almost cried, and she would tell her patients she wished she had patients like me.
What a testimony. You're a true testimony.
And I got tired of those big clothes because it's getting larger and larger and larger. I was wearing a size 8. I was up to 14 large and all these different large clothes. I got tired of looking at them in my closet. And every year, and I figured if I kept on, I would have been like 400 pounds in 7 more years. So I couldn't do it no more.
Wow.
That's good.
So
that is awesome.
Yeah, I did it. I went in and beat the devil upside the head and took it back.
I hear you.
I was mad. I was pissed.
Yep.
And it came from me being going through a situation where I started eating food. I went outside of my normal attitude. I wasn't a type of person to eat out, and I was eating out and grabbing this and doing this, and my cholesterol went up, my blood sugar went up, everything went up. I was going through a situation. So you got to be careful about your situations too that you go through. Your stress.
The stress. Yeah. Stress.
Oh, I don't have anything else to teach then, to share, because that's it, what she just said.
Stress.
And would she be willing to share some menus with the rest of us?
No, what I did was the Holy Ghost, the Spirit of God showed me a plate. You know how they had the size of the plate? And he showed me what to put in the plate. Instead of French fries, I put in vegetables. Instead of rice and potatoes, I didn't eat that, not unless I went over somebody's house sparingly and they cooked it or something like that. I didn't fool with anything that had processed with weight. And sugar. I ate candy-free cookies and this and that and the other. And because you're still going to crave all that stuff.
Yes.
Sugar-free and use that little sparkling stuff that you put in your water, and diet sodas and drink ginger ale and stuff like that. But if somebody gave it to me and I went over their house, I wasn't that type of person, I don't want that, don't give me that, don't give me that. Sparingly, I ate it without complaint.
Right.
Yeah. So you look
What
at
a
the size.
testimony. That
Yeah, you
is
look
a
at-
true.
Yeah.
And the bread, and I came back from bread. If I ate one piece of bread, I didn't eat no more bread for a good little while. So you can still
Okay.
eat bread. You eat one slice of bread, you know, and I didn't eat none later on. If I ate this, and I didn't eat that later on in the evening. So that's what I did.
Wow.
And they say
That-
it should be the size of your hand when you serving yourself.
Yeah,
That
it was
is
the size. Yeah.
remarkable.
It was the size of the plate. I didn't have to worry about my hands. I used the size of the plate.
Get a smaller plate.
Yeah, small.
Yeah,
You know how they
small
had
plate.
four little prongs in the plate. That was the size of my meal. And I ate oatmeal and stuff like that in the morning. So I didn't have to worry about my cholesterol. I didn't have to worry about this and that. And so that gave me opportunity to eat more later on that day if I wanted something.
Wow. That is a true testimony. I have something. Yeah, I have something similar. Similar to your experience, but mine had nothing to do with diabetes. About 5 or 6, I think it's about 6 years ago when I was teaching at high school, I realized that I came home stressed every day, just really, really worn out. Can't even handle the kids anymore. And I said, so I went to my doctor and they said, you're having a heart attack. Yeah, that's what they did, put me on the thing, and they said, you can't go anywhere. You've got to stay here in the office. We've got to monitor you, everything. And then when they finished everything, they said, okay, we got to put you on some pills. They put me on high blood pressure, all these different things they put me on. And then they told me I have to take time off work. And it was the end of the semester. I had grades, exam, a whole lot. And I said, okay, this can't continue. So I discussed it with my kids and I decided, okay, I must make a drastic change in my life. I can't go down this hill anymore. And so of course, I never really had a weight gain problem, but mine was more in stress and back. And my stress was on my back. I'd go into pain and have spasms and all that. But anyway, to make a long story short, I changed my diet completely. I went plant-based now. I don't eat any meat. I went strictly plant-based. I started exercising. Of course, I changed my job. I retired from high school teaching and said, I'm only dealing with adults. and everything. So I went to see my doctor about a couple weeks ago and talking with her. Do you know I don't take anything at all? No, nothing.
That's a blessing.
At my age, I am 67. I don't take anything. I have no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol. I have nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It's your eating habit and doing the exercise.
Everything changed. I became disciplined. I stopped worrying and I'm no longer. So she was like, you're not taking anything. I said, yeah, no, I'm not. Am I supposed to be taking stuff? Because they asked me to say, well, bring all of your stuff that you take every day. I said, well, where are all the medication you take? I don't take anything.
That's good. That's awesome.
Thank you, Jesus. And it was just like me. My doctor, she took me off of like 4 different medicines. She said she took me off of cholesterol. She took me off of this. She took me off of that. I came down my street just shouting like I was in a parade. Because I did it. She said, I did it by force. You know, I did. I got mad.
I wanted to die.
I wanted to go back to me because it wasn't me no more. It was too many other demons, too other things. It's too much activity. I wanted to go back down to peace and quiet. So that night when I laid down in peace. I didn't have to, check my blood sugar. I got up that morning and I was able to exhale.
Yep, you can make a big difference. So with exercise, change in diet, I went to plant-based. I drink more water than I've ever drank before in my life. I have my retention is the greatest. I remember stuff now. I don't struggle I don't get high stress like when there's a problem, I go into panic mode. I used to, not anymore. So it's so many things. Again, environment and your diet.
Because you can only change yourself. Nobody else can do it.
And saying no when you're around, the wrong people with the food. Just say no, no. and finding ways to, you know, when you're hungry, what to eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'll wrap it up with that tonight. We're way past our time. Thank you for your patience earlier with the power slide, point slides. I need to look and find, I think it's my mouse though. I don't think it's the actual. Yes.
Teresa, you are closed on Monday, right?
Yes, I sent,
Okay.
I've actually sent out, well, it's supposed to go out tomorrow to say we close it. Also wanted to bring to your attention, starting Tuesday, anybody who signs up and attends any face-to-face classes at the library, whether it's on Mondays or Fridays, will walk away with a $10 gift certificate from Walmart.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
What library is it?
Well, we have the schedule is going out in the morning. I have it ready to go out, and I can read off the libraries to you. Let me see if I can bring it up now and read them off to you. But I've already prepared them for next month. Let me see if I can bring up my.
And we have to call you to
yes
show up. You have to call.
Well, on the Friday ones, because Friday ones are definitely face to face, meaning one-on-one, meaning you. Isaiah is only working with one person at a time.
Oh, it's a library.
Live, right?
Yes, they're both live. So
that's at the library.
Yes, these are the libraries. Let me see if I can bring up my schedule
and
that I sent out.
Teresa, don't we have to call the libraries in order to
No, you don't call the library, please.
Oh,
a lot of seniors have been doing that, and the libraries are not even aware. I make the reservations, but for some reason they're not they don't get it for whatever reason, and so they give the wrong information out, and so the seniors have been going there and turning back, and so please don't go out, don't call them, call us. Going out there.
Yeah.
So
But
again,
you have to register. You can't go up there.
okay, so on Mondays you can show up.
Okay.
But on Fridays, don't do that, because Isaiah can only work with one person at a time. Mondays is group training. Fridays are one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Okay?
Okay.
And there's always a whole lot more to learn.
Right.
Okay?
Is there any, Teresa, are there any restrictions as far as your vaccination and boosters?
At the library, no, they just ask you to wear a mask.
Okay.
Just wear your mask to protect you and others.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And things seem to be getting better. Isaiah was exposed at one time from a senior, but he got it under control really fast.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And we had to cancel for a couple of times when that happened. All right, then, guys, have the most wonderful. It's a long weekend.
Amen.
Enjoy your long weekend. And
you do the same.
Okay.
Yeah. You do the same. Be careful and be
Tuesday,
safe.
we'll see you on
Thank you so
Tuesday.
much.
Travel. One of our seniors is doing Travel Tuesdays this June. We're doing China Part 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
China
I did
Part
part one. It was really nice.
So that's on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I haven't decided what I'm going to do for tech training as yet. But then Thursday, we're doing Alzheimer's retention. That's Thursday of next week. And Friday, we're doing something similar on Friday. So we've got a full week.
Thanks for sending the PowerPoint, Teresa.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, thanks for
Thank you so much.
yeah. Okay, guys. I gotta go. Got good.
All right.
Drink my water.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Jesus.